Our exploration begins today, and I know it's going to be an exciting journey, so stay with us. Okay, so we're here at the Brazilian Barracoon slave cell. It's the Seriki Faremi Williams Abbas Slave Museum, and here we'll get to see a lot of relics from the slave trade times and the slave cells and the slave era. Okay, so now we have Cornerstone, who will be taking us round. Cornerstone, thank you so much.
You're looking kinky.
Ah, wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Come
can
over.
we?
Yep. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I think every 23rd August,
Okay.
Students' School they celebrate that they remember the slave trade and the abolition.
Okay.
Now I'll be talking about the slave trade.
Okay.
How it started and how it ended. You understand, and the profit of it, and those who make the profit, and those that got lost. If I'm to trace your roots, will the name be given to me?
Okay.
You are Igbo.
Yes, I am. Yes.
You see, that to tell you how important historic or directory we Africans, our name is. Our name tells story, historic or directory. Through your name, I can trace your roots. Okay. So the man that owned this compound,
Okay.
this is the senator of the man that owned this compound.
Okay.
If you get to Ayitoro roundabout, you see the statue standing. He founded the time in 1902 for the replacement of a Bado victim of war. Then it was a victim of slavery. Then he was captured when he was at the age of 6 by Dahomey slave raiders. Republic of Dahomey was changed to the Republic in 1975. Maybe you be hearing of Cotonou Ajah.
Yes.
Formerly it was called Republic of Dahomey.
Okay.
And
Dahomey.
his own bad name was Ifa Rebelekun. Today, how comes Ifa Rebelekun be Seriki Williams Abbas? And that era, we have two categories of slaves.
Okay.
We have domestic slave and field slave.
Okay.
Domestic, working their masters are while the field, work on the farm or on the plantation. Okay. So Abbas was the first owner that owns him as a slave when he was caught as a slave boy. And Abbas made him a domestic slave. And Abbas in question was a black man, a slave trader, and Islamic scholar. So Abbas made him a domestic slave, but later he sold him to a white man called Sir Williams, who used to come from Brazil to buy slave from him. So William took him down to Brazil. He too made him a domestic slave and taught him how to read and write, which was illegal because slaves were meant to work, not to go to school, because they believe slaves were being given education. One day he or she will rise up and fight for their rights. But through Mr. William, this man able to speak English, Dutch, and Spanish, and he could read and he could write. Later, I'm still going to take you to the slave museum and show you the handwriting of this man when he sold a piece of land to some quarters there at the rate of 16 pounds. Okay. Now, while working for William, one day William called him, young man, come, let me give you your freedom, but on one condition, you're going to work for me. And he agreed to offer William, who set him free. So when he left Brazil, he first settled down in Lagos Island. From Lagos colony, he came down to the state here. So when he came here, he saw the Williams that built this compound in 1847. So that Williams won't be going to Abbas, the first owner in Dahomey. He prepared with the trade direct here with the boy he trained. He said in the 1895, he became the Seriki Muslimi of Badagry town because he used to bear the master's name. That's why they call him Seriki Williams. About the name of the first owner, the second, and the title that he had. And the reason why they call this compound Brazilian Barracoon, most of the slaves taken from here were taken to Brazil, and majority of them were Yoruba origin, and that's why they call the compound Brazilian Barracoon. In Brazil, they worship Shango. They call it Sango. You can see the similarity. The Iyalakara, they call it Iyalakaraje. You can see the similarity that they were Yorubas. Majority of them were Yorubas origin that they took to Brazil then. There's what you call bargain power. You negotiate with the European. You can say 3 slaves, I might say 2 slaves. It's very, we call it bargain with the European. So when I told that this man became the Seriki Muslimi of Badagry town, and when he became the Seriki Badagry town, this brandy was given to him by his Brazilian friend, and the kettle was given to him by the chamans, okay? Mirror and the beads bagging, as I say, well. Look at these two doors. These two doors have been here since 1847.
Really?
When this compound was being established. It's one of our monuments here.
Wow.
So made of very hard wood. So, look at that well over there. That well of
1847.
Yeah. So the well was jobbed by the slave in 1847. Yeah. And it changed color probably 3 to 4 times in a year. That is say probably they have a link with
changes color to what colors?
Yes, sometimes like what we are seeing here, you are looking something like greenish, okay? Sometimes brown, sometimes black like hog's blood color, because probably they have a link with the lagoon over there. So anytime the lagoon changes, they also change color as well. It was jobbed by the slaves, and this well is not drinkable, but you can use it to cook. When you boil it, you can like other things.
So the slaves dug it in 1847.
Yeah. So now let's see all the rooms that people occupy today.
Okay.
All the rooms that people occupy today, they used to be barracks. Later, I'm still going to take you to that side. You see another compound, and if you count all the rooms, you count 40 and 40 slaves in each of the room. Now, let's see one of the slave cells and see what you have. Okay, that's not like they're
Yeah. Wow.
So you're welcome. So this is the 4th slave cell.
Okay.
You can see the rooms look like a room.
So you mean this room takes 40 people?
Yeah, I think the room should be about 9 by 9 in size.
9 by 9.
We are still going there. Okay, but where we are standing, they call this place inspection room. If the European comes to buy slaves here, someone will go in there. After the 40 slaves that have been kept there, they bring them out, and the slave will be standing as I'm standing. The European will check the eyesight, they will check the dentition, they hit the slave in stomach, turn the slave around. They have if the slave is fit, because he or she is going to walk where they're taking them, so they want a very fit and sound slaves. Okay, now look at this clothing. We are just showcasing what we are seeing here. We call this cloth regalia. This clothing was given to the man that owned this company, a Brazilian friend, and you can see the same clothes that he wore in that black and white picture. This type of office was given to him by one governor known as Governor Williams, McGregor of Lagos Colony, in the 1902, recognizing him as a ruler. You know, Nigeria got her independence in 1960. Yeah. Before then, we were ruled by the British, so it was one British governor that gave him this regalia, this type of office. I mean, but this one was given to him by the Brazilian friend. And over here, you can see the kind of torture that been given to the slaves. You know, they will be tied on a peg, and the hand will be tied, and then the legs, and most of them they will struck them with the whip. And if the whip landed on their back, the dip of the wound is as thick as my finger. I don't know if you have watched the film 12 Years a Slave. If you know, it will be like tattoo on their back, like millions or thousands of it scattered on their back. It's a terrible experience. And this dog, in this picture, these dogs are called killer dogs, to trace any runaway slaves, okay, to bring it back to the plantation, because most of the slaves used to run away from the plantation. And this is the movement to the point of no return. We call it single file. Then over here, this is Santo Silva, and this is Darosia. You know, when they put stop to slavery, some slave trace back their roots. Among them was this man called Darosia. Darosia is popular among the Yorubas. When Yoruba tells you, Chauffeur saw me the Darosia, do you speak Yoruba?
Yeah, I go back later.
Okay. When Yoruba tells you, Chauffeur saw me the Darosia, this man they are referring to. The Darosia too, he traced his route back to Lagos Island, and they see houses and family there in those places. He was so rich that during his lifetime he was so generous that he used to give people his money. So like if I buy you one gala now you are eating the gala, and you now see another, maybe your papa say, buy me, because Ogbeni come to sell me the Darosia, and I think he's a nice man. And Santo Silva, but Santo Silva later traced the route back to Abel Kuta. They are all returned. We have most of them. We have Coca, Da Silva, Williams, okay, Ajayi Crowders and Co. Now from here, I'll be taking you to the mausoleum, that the tomb where Seriki Abbas was buried when he died. Okay, let's see.
What did he die of?
Seriki Abbas, when we get there, I will tell you. here we are. Siriki Williams Abbas, he died June 11, 1919. And when he died, this is where he was buried by the family, the Muslim community, and the Brazilian. And that's the SCID, Senior Chief of Ilaro District. He was ruling from here up to Ilaro and Orile.
That's a really large district he had under him.
Or should we call it empire?
A large empire, yes, I think that's the right word.
So this is where he was buried when he died. You can see his grave right here. So quickly, this man, Siriki Abbas, he had 128 wives.
Wives, don't tell me. When you said he had 100, I was just going to say, don't tell me wives. 100 and how many wives?
128 wives.
128 wives. Maybe not wives, maybe just women that he just, when he sees a slave, he likes them, he keeps them for himself.
Thanks for coming. I'm expecting something from you.
128 wives.
I'm expecting to ask me how many children.
No, I don't need to ask.
So over here used to be the tomb of his last child of 144. His name is Saka Ajao Williams Abbas. He was born 1913, then 1987. The last child of 144. And Siriki Abbas died as old man. We don't have the record of his real age. But he grew as an old man and he died. So from here now, you know, I told you the slaves, we are being led after this compound to that island called Point of No Return. So we are heading right to the Point of No Return. But when we go to that island, I'll tell you more.
All right, so let's go. From the slave cells called barracoons, now we're going to walk in the footsteps of slaves to find out how they felt. We're going all the way to the land of no return, down to the island from where they are shipped on to Brazil and any other country where they are sold off to. So now we're about to take a boat to the island called the Point of No Return. Now that's the place where you get to and you know there's just no coming back.
Time to get real.
We're going to the Point of No Return.
No return.
But we got to return.
We will return. We have to return.
Before we are not slaves.
You know, but you know, picturing what they were going through at this point in time, their hearts are beating fast. And you remember that they are, like we see and know, that they are sandwiched onto boats and squeezing, and so their hearts are beating, racing, and they are wondering what else does life hold.
Yes, it's like they don't even know where they are taking them to.
So this is the path that they take. We're actually following the footsteps of our forefathers who were sold into slavery. And I can imagine forefathers and foremothers. I can imagine how it actually felt, you know, getting to this point, crossing that water. And from what Cornerstone here told me, some of those slaves went on that boat, jump over into the water because they don't want to get to this point of no return. not knowing where they're headed, not knowing what awaits them in the future, not knowing if they will die. So they decide to just take their lives and jump into the water. And now we're walking that path, free of shackles, free of chains and handcuffs. But they didn't have that. And we're probably walking this path, you know, with our stomachs full, with hope, with freedom, which money can buy. But they didn't have any of that.
This is not the real point of no return. This island is called Badagry Island, and we are still going to walk down to the point of no return. So this is the
Badagry slave route, point of no return.
So this is the real point
journey
of no
to
return.
the unknown destination. Oh my goodness, very long journey, and I'm so tired.
Likewise.
So what's going on here?
Yeah, it's just a monument that the government is building. Actually, we call this Arc of Departure.
Arc of Departure.
But what I'm saying, I think the government is trying to come up with an idea. Probably you go through here to the point of no return, then you return.
I want to believe that in there we would have pictures.
Yes, of course.
And
yes.
Maybe like artworks.
You can see the AC.
That can show.
You can see those AC, okay? So there will be pictures that will be inside when tourists.
That would depict everything that happened and the history, the rich history that Badagry holds.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. So now, this is the point of no return. The slave ship that took about 150 blacks away, the very first slave ship was named Jesus of Lubeck.
Jesus of Lubeck.
Or Good Ship Jesus, that took them to Southern America then. Taking Africans across the Atlantic Ocean to America is called Middle Passage. Okay, so the slave ship, let's assume that this is the bottom part of the slave ship. Slaves were being arranged like a sardine.
Like sardines.
Yeah, there's no space, okay? And most of them used to be faced up. This is the they will face their hands straight, they will face up in the slave ship. They'll put another deck, another set of slaves up, another deck, another slave up, face up, okay? So those slaves at the top, if they wee and poo-poo, it goes down. Most at the bottom part of the ship got sick. And the European believe the sick slave will affect the healthy one. Yeah. So any slave that got sick, the penalty is to carry the sick slave and dump
into
in the
water.
Atlantic Ocean. And sometimes we are told that if the storm on the water, to balance the boat, they have to draw some slave alive so that the boat will be balanced. According to UNESCO, about 25 to 30 million blacks will be taken away to unknown destinations, and thousands of them die along the way. It's a terrible experience that will ever happen to mankind. And for me, as a black man, as an African, blood that flows in my vein, I believe our leaders should learn from the past. Okay? Look, there's nothing wrong if we have underground rail train in this country. We have the resources. We have everything. Then why are we where we are today? Why should we still be enslaving our brother and sister? The resources of the land is made for I and I to enjoy. Why is it that only few people that were enjoying the resources? Why must we suffer in the midst of plenty? I vividly believe that the same set of people that sold us into slavery, we are seeing power, and that's why we are where we are today. My sister, I just want to imagine, imagine how many bodies of the blacks that died in the Atlantic Ocean that will come toward the shore. The water, because the water will bring their body back. It's a terrible that we Africans, we must learn from. Let's build our town. There's nothing wrong being a black man. And my sister, do you know what? The transatlantic slave trade or the triangular slave trade started around 1445 by a man called Prince Henry the Navigator, and it ended in Africa in the 1870s. That will give you 400 years in slavery. It's so terrible.
I'm beginning to appreciate my freedom even much more. While I look at them playing in the sea, having fun by the beach, I imagine the shouts and the wails that mothers, pregnant women and men and children that they made before they went on that ship, not knowing where life was taking them to. Honestly, it breaks my heart and it sort of brings tears to my eyes to imagine that some years back, freedom was it wasn't even expensive, just wasn't there. And today we're free. Today we're free without chains, without shackles, without cuffs. But what are we doing with our freedom? What are we doing with the world and the freedom that so many paid the price for? The thought of having corpses washed back to shore, having corpses littered all over the place. Sad. We're done with the point of no return and we're heading back. You can see it's really cloudy, signs that it's going to rain, and so we have to take this means back. Besides, I'm really tired. I can't do that walk again. So we're here to take our boats back. So now, done with the point of no return and the trade of slaves, we're here at this monument that signifies the first place where the gospel was preached, which also stands as the introduction or the beginning of civilization, freedom, liberty, and all that we enjoy today.
I welcome you to Badagry, the historical town and the ancient city. And I welcome you to Nigeria, Jerusalem and Nigeria Holy Land.
Wow.
This is where the Christianity started from in the whole Nigeria in 1842 under the Agia tree by then. And by then, the shed is more than these two trees, but it's a single tree.
It was a really big tree.
Yes, it was a really big tree by then. That's why the missionaries, when they walk around, they see that, okay, there's market here and there's shed here. These people will listen to what we are going to tell them. That's why they came here and started the preaching to the people. The person that started the preaching was Reverend Thomas Beth Freeman. That's the statue.
Okay.
In the same year, under that tree. And the first Bible that entered into this country was brought by Reverend Eric Thompson. And the Bible that they translated into Yoruba by Bishop Ajayi Crowther by then. The Bible was at the Story Building. It's kept there. And the Yoruba one that they translated. Everything is in the Story Building. When they started preaching, people used to gather and hear what they are going to tell them. And the tree we are talking about now, the tree spent 350 years before it fell down.
350 years
before it fell down. It was blown down by a wind.
Wow.
In June 1959, 11:45 p.m. in the night. There's nobody was buried there. It's the seat of the tree that they did this monument over there. And by this year now, this place was 175 years. By September, 2 months ago, September 24. And every September 24, the Christians used to come here and worship God and give praise to God. And the first Christmas that they were celebrated in Nigeria was celebrated here.
Right here.
Yes.
The first Christmas
The
ever.
first Christmas.
Wow.
December 25, 1842. The first Christmas.
The question came to my mind. These missionaries came here and they were preaching the gospel. Yes. What language were they preaching the gospel in? And who was there an interpreter? How was it done?
You know, by then, like this Bishop Badagry Crowder.
Okay.
You know that he is the person that translated
the Bible
English into
Yoruba.
Yes. And by then, we have some people here that had their own language that can translate to the people.
Okay.
They have their neighbors. They brought some people from West Coast with them that can translate the language to the people. At that time, Palm Sunday, they were here praising God, giving worship to Baba God. And we thank God for.
So if this is our own Nigerian Jerusalem, and if it's believed that if we pray here, our prayers will be answered.
Yes.
I think I have a few prayer requests of my own to make. Maybe it's time for me to pray.
Okay.
I can't wait to share my testimony.
I welcome you to Badagry, the historical town and the ancient city, and Nigerian Jerusalem and Nigerian Holy Land.
Thank you.
I pray God will take you home safely. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Yes, sir.